What's up, guys? We're back for episode two. You already know who we got. The Ninja.
Michelle the Ninja.
Welcome back. What's
Oh,
up? What's happening?
yeah, living life one day at a time.
Yes, sir. So we're back here, episode two. We're just gonna go ahead and continue off what we're getting into a little bit. We talked about dating, that first initial steps with the people that you meet, getting to know, and now we're gonna get into the relationship side where you're exclusively with that person, um, communication, etc. We'll get on to those different topics here, but yeah, that's what we're. This episode is going to be about. So we got Michelle and Ninja back to talk about it a little bit more. Um, so just diving right into it. So, you know, what's a good time to bring in, like, you're dating somebody, well, you're with them, they're your girlfriend, you're exclusive, you're not dating anybody else, it's just them. What's a good time to meet the family, or do you do that ahead of time so they get a feel of that person when you're dating them, or do you wait till you're actually exclusive with them? Because that's a tough one, because it's like, for me, it's like you could have good chemistry and stuff like that, but then they may not mesh good with your friends, you know.
Well, are you asking about family or friends or
Well,
both?
both, yeah,
Well, they're totally different. I don't
yeah.
I don't tend to like family involvement in relationships on either side. I know that sounds weird, but you should be your own person and family can some families are very tight, which is not a bad thing. I just specifically have been through that and I don't
Mm,
like it because uh, families are often super protective of that
yes,
person. Yeah. And so they will like get territorial and you're never gonna like some families they'll never be good enough, it's like it's just like a weird dynamic. And I personally don't let my I like my family's opinion, but it's not gonna be the ultimate deterrent from me. Like if I like you, if I love you, that's really all that matters.
yeah,
My friends though, I think you should probably introduce someone to your friends like ASAP
okay,
because not that you need your friends' approval, but it's really good to see how people interact with others. Like,
yes,
you know what I'm saying? If you're just
yeah,
isolated, you two, like it could be great, but you need to see them in front of other people in other settings.
yeah. I agree. I agree with that.
What about you?
Um, I
Do you have
mean,
like a timeline?
not really. I mean, it's just the vibe, how everything's going. So, I mean, I could be dating somebody and introduce them to the family, or I could wait till I'm with them and introduce them. But it's just really off of like the personal feel on it. Like if I'm really clicking with the person.
Well, this is a good topic because you have a daughter, you're a parent.
Hmm.
When do you think is the appropriate time, or what do you need from someone like feeling wise or something in order to introduce them to your daughter, or is it not like a huge deal to you?
For me, it's a huge deal when I introduce. If I, you know, we're getting to that point where I like to keep that separate until possibly I could see like a future, like someone that's going to be stable, nothing that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to be like something that's going to be steady, nothing that's going to be, like, oh, this is a 3 month thing, like a fling or whatever. I have to know myself and that person too. We got to be on that same page to where, introducing my daughter, because she's going to get attached to that person, especially at her being whatever age, really, because kids get attached to other people pretty quickly no matter what. So I mean,
Exactly.
ultimately it's just that, like, I want to see that type of person, if they're here for the long term and not short term, and then just slowly integrate that, like, go to, if I have friends or barbecue and stuff, or like Halloween, just kind of see the vibe, and kind of slowly get them mixed in with my kid's life and stuff, and just see how they interact. But ultimately, I
Yeah.
mean, ultimately, it's going to suck either way, because you look at it as like the relationship could end, even if it's like a long term you're steady. It's just a chance that you take because you're also getting your kid involved. So it's tough. It's a hard decision. But if you're really into that person and you wanted things to go, for a really long time, then yeah, that's the way I would do it. Just depending on how I feel about them, how they feel about me, and just slowly introduce them to my kid. Little parties here and there, and then starting having them come over and where it's just us, and see how
Mm-hmm.
they interact in different environments, just like you said with dating with your family and your friends. So it's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
for sure. And do you think it's important that, say, like, a new partner, like, say you guys are stable, you've been dating a while, like, you've been, you either have or you're gonna introduce them to your child. Do you think it's important for someone to introduce that new partner to the ex partner? And does it matter if they get along?
So like my daughter's baby mama basically is what you're saying is like her introducing. I don't know. It just I guess right like introducing my daughter, well, the girl I'm with, to my daughter's mom.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's kind of hard depending on like for my situation. I'd rather keep it separate. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to do anything with my daughter's mom, just because there's just so many negativity and toxic things that came out of that, and I just rather keep it separate because that's for me that's the best thing. I don't like
Yeah.
drama. I don't like doing that stuff, and I know I'm doing what's the best for my kid, and vice versa. I mean, I'm not out here like she's free to date whoever she's like, whatever. Because at the end of the day, what matters to me is my daughter and knowing that she's safe. But the only thing that's different is like male and female. Guys can be a little aggressive. Guys can
Yeah.
be more violent and stuff like that. So it is different because I do have that in the back of my mind, like, oh, what type of person are they going to bring in and expose her to? Because I know what it's like to date her. She's
Mm-hmm.
very from when we dated. She was
Well, you
very
don't you don't have
yeah,
to you don't go
yeah,
into, but I
yeah.
I understand what you're saying. And I think in an ideal world, like, the new partner and the mom or the dad, like, they should be able to be cohesive, but unfortunately that's usually not the case because old feelings and resentment and jealousy gets in there and it's held
Yep.
against that new person, even though it
hmm
should be, cohesive for the child's well-being. It's not, which
Yeah.
sucks.
That you don't want to get. I mean, to have your kid see that too as well. Like whether the new or old partner, they get into some type of verbal altercation.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't want to have the kid be put in the middle of that.
Yeah,
Ultimately, because then it's just like, what good is that doing for a kid? So
absolutely.
So I'd rather, for me, my situation, keep it separate. Which they have met my kid and they are around them and stuff like that. So it's not like we're you know like having. I don't have to go and get her permission to for have other people in her life. So I'm using the best of
And
my judgment and just going off of that.
and I think what you said, because I was thinking it, and then you said it like, I don't want to put a blanket statement. I'm not saying men are worse than women. I'm not saying there aren't women who do bad things, but if you look at history, you have to watch the males a little bit more than you do the women. I'm not saying
Oh
that's
yeah.
completely the case. Some women are way worse. Some men are sweet, you know what I mean? But you
hmm
have to be careful when children are involved because you never know. You never know who could be entering your
Like
life and your child's life.
like a P Diddy.
Yeah. Like, if I had a child right now, like, my eyes would be like a hawk. They're not left alone with really anybody.
Yeah.
But that's just me because it's this world we live in is sketch for
Yeah.
children. Children are
Absolutely.
so defenseless, and you gotta really protect them,
Yep.
because they can't
They can
protect
defend themselves.
themselves.
Yeah, and that's why we have to have daycares. We have them in schools. We do whatever we need to do to protect them and stuff like that. And some people, you know,
And even in school, there's a school near me. It's a private school. I'm not gonna name them, but they're a Catholic school, and there's been numerous issues there. But there was a teacher a couple years ago that was caught recording under. Oh, did I just pause?
no, you're good. Did you?
Oh, I can't see myself. I paused, but he was caught recording under students like skirt uniforms, and
What the?
yeah, he got in big trouble.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, yeah. So even in school, I think that's like a really important thing to instill in your children, to like speak up, and that they can always tell you anything. Like even if someone, like, I know a lot of predators, they'll threaten children like, "Oh, I'll hurt your family or I'll hurt you." They're not. You have to tell your child that's not true. Come to me with anything, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how we turned it into this topic, but it's an
As
important
yeah,
one.
it is. It obviously is, and whether you're dating or just protecting your kids to the fullest, no matter what circumstances they're in, environments, etc. But it's a part of it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like it's they're our future. Those are our own blood that's in them. We care about them unconditionally. I mean, I love the hell out of my daughter and stuff like that, and everybody sees that. But bringing them into a new relationship, like I said, you just gotta use your best judgment, and just kind of go from there and see what's best, in whatever situation you're in with whoever you're with.
Yeah,
So yeah,
100%.
so yeah. What about you? I mean, you don't have kids, but
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to unpause myself, but oh well. I can see myself
you're good.
on yours, but I'm like frozen. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. What about me?
Yes.
You said what about you?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. So, like, as far as dating wise, like, I mean, you brought up the kids and stuff like that. So, friends and family. So, what happens if they don't mesh well with your friends? Like, have you been or experienced anything where, like, your friends, like, hey, I don't like them. They don't vibe, or vice versa. Or let's say everything goes good and your partner's like, I don't want you hanging out with them.
Yeah. Um I've this it's actually interesting because this has been kind of a hard thing with me in my relationships, because typically I don't get along with my partner's friends and they don't get along with mine. Um and I think that's been a big sign that things were not good, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't work out. For me, when I wasn't getting along with, say, a boyfriend's
Mm,
friends, in my honest opinion, they were like, they weren't the greatest characters. So I can't like fake it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, these guys are kind of scumbags, yo. Like, what the fuck? Like, they do a bunch of drugs. They're nasty. They're like mean about women and whatnot. And then as far as like my exes and my friends, I either waited too long
Mm,
to mesh them,
yeah.
or my friends didn't really like them. My friends had a bad feeling about them, which usually turned out to be kind of accurate. Not
Okay.
always, but
Yeah.
it's weird because I feel like, to me, your friends are really important. Those are usually relationships you've had for years,
But like
and they know
family,
you.
in a
Yeah,
sense.
they know you really well. They know your energy, and like when you bring someone in, like they can see that person from the outside perspective that you don't, because
Yep.
you're like, you got those rose colored glasses on.
Yep. You're in that
So I
honeymoon
think,
stage, you're like, ooh, yay.
yeah, so I think friends' opinions are super important, and I think you should introduce people pretty fast to your
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Like, that's usually like one of the first things that my friends most likely end up meeting whoever I'm with or dating first before my
Mm-hmm.
family. Because usually I end up hanging out with my friends a lot more than my family. That's for sure. Um, so yeah, and most of the time they're like, oh yeah, she's cute, or oh yeah, we like her. Oh, um, and just like you said, you hit it right on the spot. Like I was literally thinking about that. It's like they see what you don't see. They see from the outside in, and they're able to like pick up on things that you may not even be able to pick up on your radar. And they are just looking out for the best in you too, as well. So
And I feel like they're like slightly less biased than your family because like I said, your family can be territorial, but your friends some can be
oh
territorial, but
yeah,
I think overall friends just want the best for you at the end of
yeah,
the day. Unless it's like one of those like, "Oh my god, this is my best friend and you can't have him," or you can't have her. Like that's
where
annoying.
they're like
Like that's
stuck
like,
at the
"Oh my god."
hip. Like they don't do like they
Yeah.
do everything together. Like yeah,
Yeah, that's again, that's turning into like the family situation of like territorial, I don't want to let this person go. You don't deserve them. It's
like
like, all right. All
like
right.
yeah,
Like
or like I know what you did because I read her text messages because they talk or whatever. Like oversharing.
that's oh, it's so bad. I know
Yeah,
we all do it, but it's like we'll bitch about our partner or they'll bitch about us to those other
yeah,
people, and then like you and them will like mend things, but the family or the friends will never let it
yeah.
go. you
Nope.
know? Like, oh.
It stays there because they're like, oh well, they did this and this to you, like, and it stays there. Like you can't erase that. So it's like oversharing too much with people that are close to you.
Yeah, I'd say share some things, but don't overindulge. Don't go into crazy details as much as you want to. Like,
Yeah,
go get a therapist to talk to about it.
eat.
Like, they don't give a shit,
Yeah.
but don't tell your mom like, "Oh my god, my boyfriend fucking, he
I mean, we
he
have.
called me he called me a slut." Because then your mom's always gonna be like, "Hey, he called you a slut," and it's like, I know, like I don't know
Yeah.
where that example came from, but that is not something that happened to me. But that's yeah, you can.
Yeah, I do. I mean, we live in a day and age where you can go on forums and post to like communities where you can be unknown about whatever you're going through and get feedback on that too. So there's different like channels that you can navigate through and not overshare with like the people that you're like your friends or family. Like because then it makes your partner look however they gonna perceive them as because they did such thing or whatever. It could be something very minor or it could be really something big like oh well they cheated or
Honestly,
something.
I think that's like one of the dope things about like our friendship is like I feel like we can kind of just like talk to each other because we do have that distance,
Yeah,
so it's like it's almost like sometimes an objective like point of view. Like I'll be like, "Oh, Eric, this, that, and that," and you'll be like, "Oh, Michelle," and it's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's nice.
Just like straight to the point. Like nope. And next, like the show
Yeah.
next. Yep.
Next,
Yep.
the button. You
Yep.
ever watch the button?
The button. I know there's a
Yeah.
button. There's a like the staple button, like where you tap it and say that was
No,
easy.
that was easy.
Yeah.
No, it's I think it's on Snapchat or you can find it on YouTube, but it's like two people will go sit at a table and it's like they're supposed to connect and like as soon as the button lights up, either one can press it and when they press it,
Oh,
it's they whoever presses it first gets to stay and the other person has to leave and gets replaced by someone else till they get like a match and neither of them press the button.
I
It's
think I may
weird.
have seen that. So I think the only one that I've seen is like this guy is like dating and girls, and like as soon as they come in, they can be like, nope, just by the way they dress, or um, they're like, where you
Those people are
from?
so mean.
Where you from? Like, oh, from wherever they're located. Like, oh no, like heck no, like get out of here. Like,
There was this one girl, and she opened up like two or three times with, "So do you have a job?" and I was like, "Bitch, like, come on." Hopefully they have a job,
I
and
get
like, why is that your like main concern? Like, if they don't have a job, then just like, I don't know.
right. I mean, what do you do if your partner doesn't have a job? Like, you're in a relationship with them and they lose their job and they're just like not
Nah, my
motivated.
I've dated someone who didn't work at all. Um, there's pros and cons.
They can bring you lunch and drop you off and pick you up at work.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it because I was like making good money. Um, and they would like take care of some stuff around like the apartment, but like it was also like a little bit of an imbalance because like I'd come home from working 8 hours and I'd be like, I need to chill, I need to breathe. And they'd be like waiting all day for me, you know. It was just like, I don't know.
Like you need to like your social media, like you just to chill out, like leave me be. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of what we talked about before, like have your space, like like I want to just kind of decompress from the day and not be like, oh, let's go here, let's go there. Like, give me a moment, like pump the
Yeah.
brakes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'll edit
Would
that.
you
I'll
would
edit it out.
you date a girl without a job?
I have. I have.
Okay, so we're in the same boat.
I have. I have. Obviously, this was at a young age and stuff like that, and you know, um, yeah, she was going to school, and I was working two jobs and going to school. But yeah, um, I mean, I guess my headspace back then was completely different than I am now. Obviously, you just like I didn't really think about all everything as far as like financial stuff, like future and stuff. It was just like I like this person, like we're cool. But I did, but it was nice because there was food there. Hey, I'm gonna get off of work. Like they would pick me up or drop me off and stuff. So it was convenient, but at the end of the day, like I did want my space. Like I want to come home, relax and stuff because I would work during the night. So our schedules were completely opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So we made it work. But I mean, if I had to pick to date someone, I would probably would like them to have a job for sure. Especially this day and age. But I'm gonna be there and support them if they're out there be motivated and trying to get a new job or find some type of side hustle, for sure. But if they're just kicking back and doing nothing, but
I think it was really hard for me because I was like working at a new job and this was 2020 into 2021. I had been at this job for 6 months and I was commuting about 45 minutes each way, which was
so
like my
wow.
longest. Yeah, it was my longest commute. Like I was used to like a half an hour, but this was like 45 minutes. And it was long hours, like not like crazy, but it was like 9 to 10 hours plus the commute. And I did that for 6 months and this person wasn't working. And finally I was busting my ass so much that I broke down a little bit and I called my boss and I was just like, hey, I can't, like, you have to move me to a new location closer or I am gonna quit. And this person like freaked out on me. And I was like, dude, you're not even working. And you're like complaining that like I can't, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was like, what the hell? Like, like, they had no compassion. Like, they didn't understand that, like, I was busting my ass. And I think that's the thing is like, someone who's not working or someone who's never really worked, they just don't understand
yeah,
what a grind it can be. And I think anybody who's worked and has a job, which is most people, gets it,
yeah,
you know? And if you don't have a job, it doesn't click. So,
yeah. I mean, for me, I've always, whether I had a job or not, I always had some type of side hustle, like selling. Even in high school, I was selling burritos. So, you know, it's illegal now. You couldn't sell. You can't do that now. But I
yeah.
was like slinging those things. I'd come to school with a bag all ready to go, and I was like $5 here, $5 there. Like I used to be called Burrito Man and stuff. And
That's
hey,
dope.
I hustled. I didn't want like my mom. I didn't want to have to go to my mom like, hey, I need gas money. Like, nope, I'll take care of it. And be like, where are you getting this money from? Don't worry about it. I'm selling burritos. Like, Yeah, I used to burn DVD movies and stuff and sell that thing too. I was out there like hustling.
Bro, I'm a
Yeah,
burrito DVD pirate, bro.
yup.
Come at me.
I still have that stuff, and like, hey, you got this movie? Yeah, hold on, give me 10 minutes. Boom, we got it. As long as it's a good copy, whatever, something like that. But someone wants to watch it at home because they got kids and they don't want to take all six kids to the movies. You know, I'll help out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
It's only like what? What?
like yeah, no, but I've been slanging stuff for a while. I mean, I DJ, did catering stuff, so yeah, I always had something to fall back on. But yeah, it's tough to find a job even right now too. So
I mean, I've been working since I was 17, and honestly, I enjoy doing something. Like I enjoy working, I enjoy making money. Like it's when Corona hit and I didn't work for shit from March to September, so that's six months. I didn't work for 6 months, and I lost it a little bit, dude. I didn't know, like, I felt lost because I just didn't have something to go to and
that
feel
routine,
productive.
you had that routine of right getting up and going to work and coming back, and you were just at home then, right?
Yeah, and I mean it was an interesting period of my life, but I think a lot of people like they complain and bitch about work, like, oh, I don't want to be here and blah blah. But what else are you gonna do? Like most of those people don't even have hobbies to
Yeah,
so it's like working gives you some sort of purpose that I think
yeah,
is healthy.
I agree. I agree. So like going back, like so we're talking about dating and stuff and working and our partners. So what what do you do if your partner is like you're working and they're not working, or maybe they are but they're partying a lot though, like on a Tuesday night at 1 o'clock and they got to work at 8 o'clock. Like
They have to work at 8 o'clock.
yeah,
That's not healthy, in my opinion. I mean, if you can do that and it doesn't interfere with your work, that's fine. But the second it starts interfering with your work, that's when it's a problem, in my opinion.
yeah.
Like if you drank and you partied the night before and then you got to call out, then you went too hard and you pushed it too far, you
Yeah,
know?
got wasted.
Wasted.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if it's just here and there, cool. But if it's like every other day, every weekend and stuff, like the, the
Honestly, I party hard and I have never, I don't think once that I can recall ever called out because I partied too hard. The only times I call out if I'm really sick or if there's something really important that I have to like take care of. That's
you,
like,
we
you
use
know.
those we use the call out days for like, oh, I'm gonna go to like a show. We use those sick days for those, I guess.
Whatever you got to use them for, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, what if you're with somebody and they're constantly going out, like with or without you? Like, is that a red flag for you? Like, what do you set boundaries for that? Like, hey, from the get go, like, hey, I don't care, or do you like acknowledge it and then set those boundaries? Like,
I mean, usually if I'm dating someone and they like to go out, like I'm with them because I like to go out. So I think it would be weird if they're going out without me and vice versa. Because it's like if we both like to go out, why are we not going out together? You
yeah,
know?
true. What if they're going out before you get off of work and then you meet up with them after?
Ah, that's happened. That pisses me off.
Because then they're already like 10
Yeah.
drinks in. You're like,
Yeah, and then you get there, you're sober, you're not unwound yet. Like it's just you're on different levels. That
yeah.
sucks. Mhm.
Like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You couldn't wait
I
for
was
me. You couldn't have had a hamburger.
I was like 19 and I was working at an optical, and Friday nights I had to be there until 8 o'clock. And my boyfriend at the time, every Friday night, he would get with his little friend group, which was toxic, and they would get fucked up. And I would leave work and I'd go meet him, and he was already fucked up. He was already doing something with these like gahoonies, and it was like it was the worst. It stressed me out so bad. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been. I mean, with me and like my relationship, I don't like. I don't care. I guess with my age, like I don't care as long as like I guess trust with that person. But I mean, going from working to there, like I don't know. It really does depending on like the levels and how consistently they're going out there and doing that stuff. But I mean, I don't think it would bother me at all right now, unless they were like reeking of alcohol and all that and stuff. But I mean, I guess that's something that we would do in our younger relationships, right? And I guess for me, it's like older. I obviously don't have that time to go out and party like that because we have responsibilities and stuff. So, but you're right. Like I've been that where I've been in a relationship where they go out and they're hammered and stuff, and I get there and like, dude, like come on. And I'm having to babysit them, and it just throws off the whole night. Like I can't even have fun. I get there like, oh, we got to go because they're sick.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like if it's a isolated event every here and there, like that's I get it. But
Yeah.
this was like a pattern every Friday.
Sheesh.
And it was like I only worked till 8, which like, we were 19, I was 19, he was 21. So like that's not that late, on a
No,
weekend to like you can wait until 8:30 to start partying, you know what I mean?
even
But
10 o'clock. Most people
yeah,
really are getting ready by 8 o'clock, and they don't really start partying. Even you go to the club, you're not there till like 10:30.
yeah, but he had just turned 21, so that I think was the issue. Is I
Oh,
was
okay.
still 19, he just turned 21, so he was like, "Oh, we're going to the bar at 8 o'clock, 7:30." And I was like, again, now I even still that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's the past. So,
yeah. I feel you on that. I agree. Just so do you set boundaries on that then? Like if you acknowledge it, like hey, you're going out so much, you need to slow down. Like this is becoming an issue because it's affecting our relationship. You kind of like have a conversation about that, and then if it keeps happening, you're just like, all right, we talked about this. Like, I don't want to keep doing this with you.
I
Like,
just simply don't let it get started. I don't go
yeah,
for people like that.
that's good.
If I see that early on, I just nah, it's just not for me.
Which you can pick up right away, like right off the bat when you're dating with somebody. Like they're always out, like, oh yeah, let's go here, let's go there, and you could probably pick it up on like their alcohol, like their tolerance for it too. Because some people that drink a lot usually have a high tolerance for it, and versus somebody that really doesn't go out much, where they have like a few drinks, they're like, oh man, like it's hitting me.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's tough. I don't like someone who's too sober, and I don't like someone who's too drunk, which I know sounds obvious,
Yeah.
but it's like you have to find the middle. I know it's so hard, but it's like, come on.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. That's why I stick with whiskey because I could like I know I could have like 4 glasses and I'm like, all right, I'm cool. But then when you start drinking beer and stuff and you don't know where you're at, especially depending on what type of drinks you have too, because the alcohol percentage, like you're just
Well,
winging it.
that's another thing. I've been trying to stick to beer when I go out or like in general. And then like if I have been getting fucked up, it's been in my own house, like
Yeah.
alone, because I was like, I don't want to be totally inebriated in public. Like that's just a bad look, in my opinion. So if
It's
I'm gonna,
embarrassing too. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, people do shit. I'm included. That like it's just like you wouldn't normally do, and it sucks. So it's like if I'm gonna get like fucked up,
Do
I'd
it at
rather be
home.
home. Yep, do it at
I
home.
agree. Yeah, I agree. Because then you're already home. You don't have to worry about Uber or Lyft or any of that stuff. Trying to find a ride home. Like you're already just like I'm home. Just go to sleep.
Go to,
That
yep,
that's
exactly. And then
so
and then it's like when you know you're done, which everybody knows that moment where they're like, "Oh fuck." Like, you're not out at the bar, you're not like falling over on people or whatever, or God forbid you black out, cuz I've blacked out in like in front of people and it's been a bad look. You just go to bed.
yeah.
You're home, you go to bed, like
I I've probably like gotten really hammered in person, like maybe once, and I was like super young. But I was drinking like AMFs, and I was like, my weight back then was probably like 136 or whatever. I was tiny. I wasn't solid or anything. I was just like skin and bones, like. So I was just drinking AMFs, just boom, boom, with nothing in my stomach, just right off of work. All right, give me an AMF, and mixing my drinks and stuff, and I was just like, uh,
oh
and
yeah.
and I would have to go to work the next day. So I'd be like, I would call it, but it would only happen once in a great while, though. Like, so, and that's with me. Like, it takes a lot for me to get drunk now, but then it was just like, yeah, I was that person. I was that person where
Yeah.
I would just like,
I
give me the liquor.
I've 100% been that person, and I think the issue is that like back in the day, I used to be like a yacker. So like after 3 drinks, I'd yak, I'd boot and rally, I'd go back, and like I got the alcohol out of my system. I don't know what happened, but now I can just drink, 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 drink. So like in the past year, I've been just like throwing back vodka, throwing back rum, and boom, I get blacked out. And then when I get blacked out, that sucks, dude. That because you have no control of what you
Yep.
say, you have no control what you do, and people don't realize they see you and you're functioning and saying shit, but then the next day you're like, I have no idea. I blacked out at fucking 9 o'clock at night, and they're like, you were going at 12, like you're saying crazy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so it's just better if you're gonna do that, do it at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I try not to drink a lot because then like I'll end up wanting to go like streaking or something. So I just it's happened once. It's happened once. I was
I've
drinking out.
never.
I was drinking at home, and I had my DJ stuff, and my mom had her friends, and all this and that, and the neighbors were all over,
Uh-huh.
and I was just like, I had too much to drink, and they're like, I don't know how it came up, but they're like, you're not down to go streaking. And I was like, you're a chicken, you're a chicken. And I was like, what? No hesitation. I'm like open, like I walk out, they all like getting like grabbing their drinks and stuff, and I open the garage and I'm just taking my shirt, everything off. I ran down the street, butt ass naked. I did the fist pump
No.
and just socks in front of like the whole neighborhood. And like every time I see like the neighbors like, hey, you want something to drink? You sure you're good? You want something more to drink? Because I'm like, I felt like after that they wanted to see me go run naked down the street. After that, I was
Dude,
like,
people
nope,
just want to see your dad
nope.
bod,
I
dude.
was like, nope, I'm good. I was probably like 23, maybe 24 then.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I was like,
Thankfully,
no,
I've never busted out naked, but I've tried to bust some faces when I was blacked out. I get mad. It's like I got this internal anger that when I black out, it's like I can't control it, and I apparently like, yeah, I get mad when I black out. Not when I'm drunk, just when I'm totally gone, and that's why I was like, I can't do that no more.
yeah. See, I'm like one mode. Like it's like I'm usually just chill, super quiet and stuff. And like when I get to that moment, I'm still the same. I'm just smiling hello like a lot. And like, what's up guys? Like just you can't take the smile out of my face. I don't like ever get mad. Like I'm not an angry junk. I don't want to go fight somebody. Like I'm just like a super happy person. Just like I look like I'm
Appar-
fucking on cloud nine, just like whoo.
Apparently, one of the worst times when one time I blacked out at a club, which I didn't do real damage. I was just like dancing and falling on people. But then one time I was at a party and I blacked out, and apparently I was like, fuck y'all, I don't trust none of you. You can all go fuck yourself. And I was like, I heard this the next day and I was like, oh my god, like, I'm sorry, like, that wasn't
No,
me.
no,
Like,
like with their
I
phone.
hope, hopefully not.
Yeah,
I don't know though, but yeah.
that's funny. That's funny.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, so Drake, yep. It's really tea though. But yeah, so I mean, as far as like boundaries and stuff, like drinking, we covered that. So like, what other boundaries do you have like with partners? Like, I mean, female friends or like, I mean, it's different. Everyone has their own boundaries. Like, what's okay with them, what's not.
Ah. What's one of yours? Let's lead off with that and then
Oh
I'll
man,
think
this.
of something.
I mean, it kind of it goes off of like last episode, like respect, understanding each other. But as far as just being able to communicate with me, like, hey, like I fucked up, or etc. But as far as one of my biggest boundaries is really just being able to communicate in a mature and healthy manner, like not how do I put it, not starting an argument about it, like just being able to talk to the person and not being able to like you cutting me off when I'm talking. Like, hey, let me tell you what's going on.
Finish.
Let me finish. Quit jumping to conclusions. Like, this is what's happening. This is what's going on, and just have a mature adult conversation and let me speak and listen. I feel like that's a big thing in relationship is being able to listen when having an argument, because a lot of times and I'm guilty of it, is listening to respond versus just listening, because we
That's
hear it,
facts.
but we don't listen to exactly what they're saying because we already have our response ready to go after
Yeah,
they're
just
half.
kind of blank your mind and listen, and then when they stop, that's when you can like.
Yes, so I mean that's my biggest boundary as far as just let me speak, don't cut me off, hear me out, and be understanding. And just don't make me feel, I guess, stupid. I guess, yeah, like don't belittle me. We're both adults, so I think that's big.
100%. I agree with all that.
Yeah.
I think for me, honesty is huge. It's huge. I cannot stand when people lie to me, because I have a great experience with that, and so I can pick up on it like very quickly, and maybe not in that exact second, but I'm the type of person that will like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, I'll start to think about what you said, and I listen, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'll think about it. I'll be like, that didn't sound right. Something was off there, you know? So, some of the most important people in my life have been important because they speak pretty much the unadulterated truth. Um, I'm one of those people that can handle the truth.
Hmm.
And I like to speak the truth. Like I'll tell you how I'm feeling. I'll be super honest. Um, so I expect that back. But I think a lot of people have an issue with lying.
Yeah.
A lot of people, due to trauma, childhood
Hmm.
trauma, which I understand, but I'm very accepting and non judgmental, and I would rather take the ugly truth than a beautiful lie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because then it's like you lied to me. It can be fixed, or you can work on it because they're communicating versus just you know trying to. What are you trying to? What's the purpose of you lying? In a sense, like,
Yeah.
because it's gonna come out eventually.
Oh, always does. Every time. And, I think when someone lies, it's truly an insult to the person that's being lied to
Yeah.
because they think that that person is not smart enough to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Like recently someone lied to me about something super little. They said they fell asleep at like 10 o'clock. And I know for a fact they didn't. And, you know,
Yeah.
they told me they did, And it's not like a huge lie, but it's like there's no reason for that. Like if you simply didn't want to talk or whatever, that's fine. But don't say you fell asleep, you know?
Yeah. I mean, as far as lying, like I've been in a situation like that. I mean, well, for me personally, I just don't lie in general because I already know I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget what the hell I even said in the first place, whatever the story is. So I learned that at a young ass age. I was like, I can't lie. I'm gonna just, all right, I fucked up. I did this. Like it is what it is.
I mean, everybody lies. And I think that's the biggest lie when someone says, "Oh, I don't lie."
Yeah,
I lie. I'm not everybody lies, but it's about what and to what extent.
yeah,
Like, if this is the example I use all the time. If you're home, right? And say your girlfriend asks you, "Hey babe, what do you think about these pants I'm wearing? Like, do they look good? Do they make my
yeah,
butt look big?" And you're home still. Be like, maybe something else will look better. I they're all right, babe, but you could wear something else. Because you're already home, she can change it.
yeah,
But say she didn't ask you, then you're out, right? And she's like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't feel so comfortable in this outfit. Like, what do you think?" And you're like, "Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
yeah,
You're good." You know what I mean? Because at that point, what is telling her, "Oh, I'm not crazy about those pants," gonna do? It's just gonna make her feel worse. And she
yeah.
can't do anything about
Hmm.
it. You know what I mean?
It's gonna ruin the evening for her, and she's just gonna be like in a mood or something like that too. So, but yeah, I mean, just be straight up, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But if you're in a point where that person can do something about it,
yeah,
and it might hurt their feelings a little bit, but it's gonna save them in the long run, then yeah, tell the truth. Be like,
yeah,
I'm not crazy about that. It doesn't look right.
yeah. So, since we're talking about lying, what if you are telling the truth? Because I mean, in recent events where like I've gotten called that I'm a liar or I'm hiding something because of whatever reason, because of their gut feeling when I am telling the truth, and it's like, dude, like I am telling you the truth, so like, why you keep bringing this issue up? Like, it can be frustrating too when you are being truthful and they keep thinking you're lying.
So what's the question?
So, what do you do in that sense? Like, do you just let it go? Like, hey, you keep bringing this up, like, either going to drop it or we're just like, how do you resolve something like that for you? Like, if you are telling the truth and that person just doesn't believe you.
So if you're telling the truth and someone's accusing
Yeah,
you of lying,
yeah,
I would keep it short, simple. Be like, no, that did I'm telling you the truth. Believe it or not, I'm not gonna argue with you. I have nothing to defend. Period.
no, what if they keep bringing it up? Let's say a couple months come around, they're like, oh, well, let's say something reminds them of it, and like, oh, yeah. And they're like, hey, I know you did this and this. You can tell me the truth. Like, do you address it more the same way or handle it differently?
I would literally be like, there's the 24-hour rule. You have 24 hours to complain as much as you want, to bring up any issues that you're having. If it's beyond a day, it's gone. It's the past. Get over it. If you can't get over it, then I don't know what to tell you. When you get over it, let me know. We'll talk. Other than that, I'm not discussing this no more.
Yeah.
You just gotta be strong. If you're telling the truth, you really are, and you have nothing to defend, nothing to hide, there's no argument. If they
Yeah.
want to keep bringing it up, that's their issue. And until they get past it, then I don't, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. I agree with you. Because you're being honest, you're being shut up, and it's more of an internal or personal issue for whatever reason. Maybe because of past experiences or something else. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, one time, long time ago, they brought up to me that they saw my ex with someone else. And that was really tough because it was someone I really trusted. So I took their word and I confronted my
Hmm.
partner on it, and I was like, "Were you with someone else?" And I did not relent for probably like 2 3 days, and they were like, no, it wasn't me, I wasn't with someone. And there was just a certain point where I just had to either accept that they were telling the truth or not believe them and walk away. And I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna accept you. And that was the end of that. I don't think I ever brought it up again, because I was like, you can't keep bringing the
Yeah,
same thing up. You either move past it or you don't,
yeah.
So,
It's like a domino effect, though, in a sense too, because you keep bringing it up, you're bringing old stuff up, and then it causes other issues in the relationship too.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I've been in
It,
situations like that, so it sucks. So,
yeah, it's best to resolve these things right away. And if you have talked about it and you think you've resolved it and that person can't get past it, then you just gotta let them.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
I get that situation because there was this one time where I was dating someone and I hung out with a friend of mine, and it was like speculatory, like that,
Mhm.
it was a little sus, but my partner was convinced that we did stuff, and we didn't, not even, we didn't kiss, nothing like that. And I told them, I was like, no, like, I know it's sus, but nothing happened. Like, you have to believe me. And
Mhm.
I don't think till this day this person actually believes that I was telling the truth, that nothing happened.
Yeah.
And it really, it ate away at them and our relationship, because they just could not accept that I was telling the truth. And it's like, it's some people's own downfall.
Yeah. It's kind of like having like friends that are the opposite sex, and it's hard for them to understand that you guys are just friends that way too. I'm sure you've experienced that too in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can got male and females be for just friends though? Like honestly,
Sometimes.
yeah,
Oftentimes not, sometimes.
yeah,
It depends. I would say human nature can often push a male and a female together to have a physical relationship. But sometimes, like with certain individuals, like I have certain guy friends who it truly is strictly platonic.
hmm,
Like, they don't have that urge, and I don't have that urge, and we can hang out, and it's never gonna get close to that.
yeah. You're like you're
But
truly
that's
homies.
rare.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's I would say that's more rare. I think
yeah.
if a guy and a girl spend enough time together, you know,
I agree.
they get a little close.
I agree with that statement. Because I mean, I do. I mean, for me, I do have a lot of friends that are female, and I have a lot of boys too, but they're not here locally and stuff like that. Those are like really close friends and stuff. But I have homies that are girls. We're just friends. So I mean, we've grown up together and stuff. So they're like a sister and all that. So I mean, I get that, and then I've also you can tell. I mean, you people can tell from the outside, like the vibe, like if you guys are flirting, etc. Like if there's something there, like you can straight up tell. Versus just being just friends. But then you can also have a really good friendship where you're super close with the opposite sex, and there's nothing there though. You're just close, like you guys know each other that well.
Yeah, you can just tell the vibe. I mean, one of my exes, there was this girl, and I remember seeing him like hug her and pick her up like this for like a solid 30 seconds, and he never did that shit to me, and she was like all on his dick, and I was like, yo, I don't fuck with that at all. And he was like, oh no, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you can tell when two people have something.
yeah. Oh, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. I don't know. I, what was I gonna say? I forgot. I totally blanked there.
I have a question.
What's up?
I know you're the one taking control and throwing the questions,
No, go
but
for it.
I go on because I feel like this is a pretty relevant topic in today's day and age. So, say there was this smoke show woman, right? She got the boobies, the ass.
So like a Jessica Alba or something like that.
Yeah, like whoever you like she's looking fucking good, right? And you go on a date, and she's like, "Yo, Eric, I like you a lot. I got all the surgeries and whatnot, but I used to have a dick."
Whoa. Oh, you dropped it. That one. This is a hot take right here. Woo.
Like she's all woman, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell. Nobody's gonna really tell. But she tells you she used to have a dick. She got a vagina now, but she used to have a dick.
That. Oh. So what do I do with it? So that's a tough one.
You
I
really
mean,
like her. Like
yeah, but she was originally a man, so technically, biologically, you're with another man, but cosmetically, I guess they're a woman now. I guess in a certain sense, I don't know. That's tough. I would probably be a no, just and not because I like my women natural. Rather personally, I would rather have somebody all natural versus over that. No offense, depending on like what sexual orientation they are or whatever, but I prefer my woman to be all natural. Even if I like the dude or the girl, even she's smoking hot with some fucking hoo ha's that were out of this world, and a big dunk a dunk, like yeah, I would prefer someone that didn't have all these alterations and stuff like that. That would be my answer. Yeah, they're nice to look at. They may be a good person. I may have a lot of feelings for them, but it for me it wouldn't be somebody I would actually go for though. It'd be a huge it'd actually be a turn off in that sense.
because of the surgeries?
Yeah, because I have like my preferences. I like my woman natural, like let that shit hang. if they're 80 years old or 40. But I understand like why they do it because it makes them feel better about themselves and stuff, or their
Yeah.
parents. I completely get that. Nothing against it. I mean, if I was married to somebody and then decided to do that, I would be. I guess I would be okay with it because I had both versions of them. I don't know.
That's
It's kind of
fair.
like a weird answer to that, but yeah, it would probably, if you want a direct answer, it'd probably be no.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of surgery either. And like as far as that topic goes, like be you, do whatever makes you happy. If altering your body makes you happy, that's fine. I
Yeah,
just think the way technology is right now, I think the surgeries are not where they need to be. You know
yeah.
what I mean? In order for you to really, like, I've heard a lot of botch stories
Oh,
about
I've heard a lot
people.
of that too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
it's tough. It's tough to this day and age because, like, I mean, again, you don't know what they were before, etc. and stuff unless you ask. But
I also
two,
think, I also think, and I'm not saying this again like a blanket statement, but like you said, if you can be natural and be happy in your body, I'm not saying that surgery is not necessary for certain people,
yeah,
but if you feel that much to change, perhaps you really truly are not happy with yourself.
yeah,
I think you can find other ways to resolve that, if that makes sense.
yeah. And I mean, I understand there's certain. I mean, obviously, there's going to be certain circumstances like you have extra skin, like those are understandable.
I would say if you got a big schnoz that's
Yeah.
like taking over your face, that you could pass. Go for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I said this one girl, I went to school with her. Her nose was, it was something, and it made her uncomfortable, and she got a surgery, and I swear to God, it was like holy shit, that's like amazing.
I'm pretty sure
And
her
it made
confidence level went up too, right? Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's everyone's gonna have a different opinion on it for sure. There's no right way or wrong way on those outlooks. We just all think differently. We have our own preferences, and it is what it is. So, but I mean, to that original question, it'd probably be a no. Yeah, it would be a hard no.
Yeah, it'd be a hard no because you'd be like, oh no,
Yeah.
oh them titties, no, I can't.
Like, hold on, let me wait. Nah.
Let me not think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Let's turn the lights off.
All right. So, last question here. So, what if that was like for you though? Banging dude, all that. He had like artificial implant calves and stuff and whatever, smoking hot, but he was a woman before.
And he had a dick.
He
Like
had
he
a
had a dick.
yeah.
I do like dicks. I mean, I wouldn't like. I wouldn't say I'm a hard no. I might be open to it, honestly. I'm pretty accepting. I mean, if it was like if I met this person and like we vibed, like mentally and everything, I'd give it a shot. I mean,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that
I,
perspective.
I think the only thing for me that might hold me back is that I've often heard the voices of people who like say
Oh,
transitioned, like they were on the hormones and stuff, and to me voice is very important. Like I get
yeah.
like I like a certain sound and
You,
that
you,
sound
the,
sounds
the the
weird.
bass to it, right?
Yeah, you got a nice voice.
It's all right. It is.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. I I want. It's weird when you hear yourself though. You're like, wait, what? Like I sound like that, but
I'm used to that now ever since I started doing music. But yeah,
Yeah,
I used to be like, ew. Ever
true.
since I started recording music though, like my voice changed a little bit. It used to be higher, and now I'm like, it's like lowered. Like I didn't mean to do it on purpose, but I think because I heard it so much
You,
and it was like really high to me, I was like, ooh,
you toned it down.
yeah.
Like, let me adjust my vocal cords here a little bit.
Not on purpose, not on purpose. It just happened. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, that was a good question though. I was not expecting that. It was a hot take.
I had that come up a long time ago. Maybe like 20 2016, 2017. Me and one of my managers, he was a dude and he brought it up. And I was like, "Would you?" And he's like, "If you couldn't tell, like, yeah, fuck it." And I was like, that was like that was like
Just
way before this became like a mainstream topic. So
yeah,
I was surprised that he said that.
yeah. I mean, like I said, everyone has their own perspective on it. I guess we'll have our preferences, and it is what it is. Hey, if it makes you happy and you get off, like, hey, more power to you, right?
I mean, honestly, some of them women are like hotter than natural born women.
Oof.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I see some of them, I'm like, damn, she's pretty. Like, oh my
I
god.
can only imagine going like on dating apps now, like like is this a guy or is this a girl? Now that you like bring that up, I'm like thinking about it, I was like, how would you know? But they would. I would think they would probably put that in there or something like that. I would think,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah,
I mean, some of them start mad young when they're like in their teens before
yeah,
they really get like
the hormones and
distinctive
stuff.
features.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you really can't differentiate. Like they even
yeah,
talk like,
yeah,
it's yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. But we'll wrap that up there. But yes, all right. Thank you guys. Episode 2. We want to hear your comments at the bottom about all the topics we talked about. Let's hear about them. We definitely will be replying to them. Again, thank you to Michelle the Ninja. Thank you for jumping on. We appreciate you. Any last comments, reflections, words, anything?
Eat, eat ass, smoke grass, go fast.
Well, you heard it. What she said.
That's what she said.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks guys for jumping on, watching this whole episode. But again, just drop a like, hit a comment, tell us what you think, and we'll be back with episode 3 next week. Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh, and you know where to find her in the link. We got the description in the link right here.
Michelle the Ninja on everything.